In the last update of Season 14, we got our next character rework as a bit of a surprise, this time focusing on Justina Gu. Justina's arsenal has been slimmed down to 2 skills and 2 ultimates. Her team freeze ability that let her encase her teammates in ice has been removed, which is fine. I think it was one of the worst abilities in the game by design, and nobody used it, so that's gone now. They've also removed her second ultimate, but not entirely, as they've combined it into one of her other ultimates, but we'll go over that after we take a look at how her skills currently work now. Justina's first skill is an empowered version of what it was before the rework. When used, Justina encases herself in ice for 4 seconds and cleanses any debuffs on her like fire, poison, or healing weakness. She periodically recovers some armor, and when the ice disappears, she cleanses any debuffs again, and it does a tiny little damage and knockback to nearby enemies. So fire damage is no longer an issue for Justina since she cleanses it when entering and exiting her F skill. The stagger on the knockback when leaving ice form is really short. In the right circumstance it can be good, but this change seems a bit unnecessary since I'm not sure it really provides a whole lot of value, but after comparing it to the old version where there was no little ice explosion, I think this might make it a little safer since the enemy can't just wait for Justina to leave ice form and then catch her in a combo. Speaking of which, Justina can now cancel ice form directly by attacking instead of having to dodge or jump to cancel, giving her F skill a little more versatility and making it a little less predictable. This skill cannot be used while under attack, but can be used as a pseudo-defensive soft combo breaker. Justina's second skill is her defensive skill that can be used while under attack. It functions the same as her first skill, but lasts for 3 seconds without the armor healing effect, so the debuff cleanse effect and ice burst upon exiting ice form still happen with this skill. Honestly, I was hoping Justina would get an offensive F skill from her rework, since that's one thing she never had, but for now, these options are both nice, functioning similarly but having important differences that change when and how the player will be using them. Moving on to Justina's reworked abilities, we have Arctic Wraith, her V1. This is just like the old first ultimate with some newly added effects. It costs 40% rage to activate the ultimate, and it lasts for 30 seconds, during which Justina will have a 5% overall damage increase. Justina can dash forward for 20% rage cost, freezing enemies in her path who are not in any form of focus. If an enemy is in blue, gold, or skill focus, the dash will only stagger for a moment, but it is long enough to guarantee a hit on an enemy, which can guarantee a freezing dash. So if you know your target is about to focus through your first dash, predict it, hit them right after the stagger, and then freeze them after the hit. The freeze lasts for 1.6 seconds, and an enemy has 4 seconds of freeze immunity after they're unfrozen. Every time an enemy is hit by a dash, Justina gains an additional 5% attack for 5 seconds and resets the remaining duration, stacking up to 15% that adds to the base 5%, totaling a possible 20% damage boost during Justina's ultimate. If Justina hits 2 or more enemies with a single dash, the dash does not consume any rage and is completely free. This means Justina can get nearly unlimited value in her ultimate by dashing through multiple enemies over and over, and makes her the best outnumbered 1vx character in the game. But there's more, so let's just keep going. Justina gained a new ability in her ultimate with this rework. Tap the ultimate button during her ultimate to unleash an area freeze around Justina that freezes any enemies outside of focus. After using this area freeze, Justina's next freeze dash will be empowered. The empowered freeze dash freezes any target that isn't in ultimate focus, and transform enemies hit by the empowered freeze dash will be frozen for 3 entire seconds. So for the rework, they kind of found a way to merge the old first and second ultimates into an even more powerful version of either one, and I think these changes will benefit her greatly in trios, where I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more Justina. Leave your thoughts about this ultimate in the comments, and let's go ahead and check out her second ultimate. Arctic Wraith Frostwind is Justina's second ultimate and is essentially just her old third ultimate, where she creates an icy patch wherever she's looking that lasts for 8 seconds. Enemies caught inside are frozen for 1.6 seconds, while transformers are frozen for 3 seconds. It only costs 50% rage to use, and can be used at 50% charge. The Ice Mist will block melee attacks from enemies, but not necessarily the ranged melee attacks like Longsword or fan charge attacks, and it does not defend against ranged weapons. Justina will not recover rage for 4 seconds after using this ultimate, but that doesn't really matter and is pretty laughable when you consider other characters that have rage regeneration lockout, like Tessa and Hottie, who both have to wait 15 seconds before recovering any rage after using their ultimates. Overall, this rework is a general buff for Justina, especially in trios where I think the majority of these changes will be more impactful. Let's look at how to effectively combo with her first ultimate. Justina is a character that can activate her ultimate mid-combo and continue the same combo in her ultimate, a technique known as Raw Dragon. This lets you guarantee a kill on someone who doesn't have a defensive combo breaker ability ready, and learning this combo style and when to use it can level up your solo's game. Starting with Longsword, you can Raw Dragon off of a basic uppercut, then jump or dodge to cancel the ending of the ultimate activation animation, and dash to freeze the enemy before they hit the ground. Since Justina's freeze has a damage threshold, and since frozen targets are not staggered into a combo, it's optimal to deal a small amount of damage, then let them unfreeze and release an attack that staggers them at the exact moment they unfreeze, which leads into a combo. Since the enemy will have 4 seconds of freeze immunity, only weapons with long combos or long CC Soul Jades can loop into another freeze, and I'll show these combos now, along with some useful non-looping combos as well.
Time to bundle up. Time to bundle up. That cannot be done. It's about to get cold. Time to bundle up. And shall be time to bundle up.
Thank you so much for watching this Justina rework guide. Hopefully you learned something, and if you have any questions, just leave it in a comment and it will probably get answered. I'm not the best Justina player myself, but I'll probably be practicing her more now that she's gotten her rework. Hope you enjoyed this video, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.